Hey minions, welcome to Crank It Up. I'm Jim Price, and on this episode of the Gauntlet, I want to talk about Miskatonic University Wizards. This week we are going to be looking at two teams that rely heavily on their event kit Titan. This team would have probably gone unguessed if there were more factions left unrevealed, and I had plans to reveal them weeks ago, but changed the order for a number of reasons. This team has an interesting backstory. I like Miskatonic, but they don't really have obvious synergy targets, because they are a support faction and require madness to do it. Innsmouth and Minions of Cthulhu were off the table, and Elder Things don't really benefit from Miskatonic. So what do I do with them? I debated for a long time, and then I had an idea. Now, in case I've never mentioned it before, Turing Jedi from March Smashness and I are actually coworkers, and we sit across from each other, so there's always a chance for a smash-up conversation. Well, one morning, as I was driving in, the idea hit me, and as soon as I saw him, we had the following conversation verbatim. Miskatonic Wizards? Titan? Yes. Yes. That was our entire conversation, and he instantly knew what I was going for. I can be pretty harsh on Wizards, who are another support faction. I don't really like putting two support factions together, but I had my reasons, and he knew it immediately. Let's take a brief look at what these factions bring to the table. Wizards play extra actions and play extra minions, but their minions are smaller, so you want power to come from your opponents. The Miskatonic University also has extra plays, but their minions only have their printed power, and they want power to come from your opponents. They do have actions that grant power, but that is meant to supplement the power from minions in play, and they have to contend with madness to unlock their potential. On the surface, these two factions are expecting something that the other cannot deliver, but that is not the case. I chose this pairing because I thought they had the potential to just keep spamming cards over and over again, and as it turns out, they can. This combination has no problem playing the initial 5 cards needed to bring out the Arcane Protector. If this Titan is the only Titan in the game, this team has a massive advantage because that extra card per turn is critical for them. Typically, you draw 2 cards and play 2 cards, so your hand size can be static. Some teams won't use every play. This team will, and then some. Every card matters because seemingly every card will be played. The extra actions of the Wizards are always good because they can be great for getting rid of madness. Most of the time, the Miskatonic University is discarding madness cards for powerful effects, but there are occasions where drawing them triggers the benefit. One of those is Gate to the Beyond, where you can draw a madness card, then play an extra minion. Many wizard minions give extra actions, and an extra minion gives you 4 cards toward your 5-card goal. Throw in the Professor, who can give you 2 extra plays, and bring out the Titan is a certainty. This team has a small number of big plays, but one key advantage. They can do them multiple times. It may be hard to understand them without playing them together. This team blazes through their deck, and they do it more than once. In one exhibition game, they went through their deck twice before their opponent exhausted theirs for the first time, and they were about halfway to 3 times before the game was over. Because of their speed and card draw, what you can do is essentially be, for lack of a better word, reckless. Use all your extra plays. Use your specials. You will get them back. As far as the big plays are concerned, Miskatonic University provides a global +2 power boost, affecting all of your minions, not just a single base. The Professor and Gate to the Beyond allow for a multi-base attack, and if the bases provide any support, it's easy to see them having presence on all 3. Because of their explosive nature, driven by minion quantity, global +2 power is fantastic, and this can easily occur twice during the game. Miskatonic University already had 2 great specials in Old Man Jenkins and Things Best Not Known, which provide value independently or when used on the same minion. It's easy to rush a base that only has 1 opposing minion, buff them up with Things Best Not Known, then destroy them with Old Man Jenkins, which favors ties because you choose the single target. It's easy to play the Arcane Protector because Madness is essentially a free source of cards. Sometimes you don't have 5 cards to play from hand, but you can use Gate to the Beyond to play a Chrono Mage to play an extra action, which is to return the Madness you just got. That's 2 plays towards the Titan, but only 1 card from your hand, and none of your regular plays. Another important aspect about this team is that they make me like several cards I repeatedly discard. Field Trip has been a massive Hail Mary with this team if you know your deck, as you can order the cards appropriately, get back better cards to keep sustaining your engine, and make a big play. I've always liked Portal, but Field Trip is great for it, and also great for Neophytes if you can count your cards. But the most improved card is Winds of Change, because instead of being a card that results in a net loss of cards, it can easily restore you back to 5 cards, and you can keep going. For me, this has been a draw 4 and keep on attacking card, and it's normally the first card I punt when I get over 10 with Wizards. It's crazy that you can play so many cards and always have your hand well stocked, but it happens, and it's because of the Arcane Protector. For this team, I found that his power does go a long way, because it can mean saving a few cards that allow you to still have the 5 cards you need to play him again. Though, I still prefer to camp him on an undesirable base, because that extra card per turn is going to get used. To play this team effectively, you have to remember that nearly all of their plays are bankable. Only the Neophyte is not. You can queue up several extra plays before playing Winds of Change, knowing that you will have good options drawn back into your hand. You also have to be comfortable with Madness, because you will be drawing and discarding it, and you need to make sure you can get rid of enough. It's okay to have some at the end of the game, as long as you have enough of a VP threshold. Despite not really liking Mystic Studies, I do like using Madness to draw cards. Gate to the Beyond can use the Madness card to draw 2 cards in case you get a better minion to play as an extra minion. With this team, you don't have a lot of dead cards. Mass Enchantment is hit or miss, but crazy things have happened. If the bases somehow give you indestructible minions, Sacrifice is massively good for them. The only card that really has a chance to go unused is Those Meddling Kids, but against the right team, it's brutal. You have key engine minions, but the majority of your minions are one-shots, so you don't lose any equity when they are gone. Mass Destruction can hurt, but they can batch their plays in order to avoid it. Like all teams, they have their weaknesses. I've talked about this particular game a lot, but I had a 5 VP lead against Magical Girl Russians when Turing Jedi played Silver Shard and shuffled in about 17 minions into my 1 or 2 card deck. I forget the exact numbers, but that's about right. It was brutal. Cards like that and New Acolytes can be kryptonite for this team, and I was set back for several turns, enough to eventually lose, but barely. Other than Old Man Jenkins, which isn't a guaranteed play, they don't have a means to kick you off a base, so 2 minions on a base guarantees you second. And if you can remove their Titan, you cut off their card supply significantly. Not necessarily by half, but significantly. If you can further bleed them of cards, they go down in power significantly, because as much as they can draw cards, the well does eventually dry up. This team is also susceptible to Eliza in the worst possible way. They have no means to remove her, and lack the raw power to break a base unexpectedly, without the very minion quantity that Eliza is blocking. But their below average power makes them very susceptible to princesses, and they can struggle to stay in play, opening up a lot of solo base potential for their opponent. Finally, Madness tie losses are always a possibility. It happened last year, and happened in Exhibition with this team. They can deal with Madness in the hands of the discard pile, but shuffling it into the deck is brutal, as they need to draw new Madness in order to use their benefits, which only increases their risk. Many of these cards are actually out of the tournament, but Field Trip is often used to delay your own Madness until later, which can backfire. And Madness can get into your deck from a number of unexpected ways. Still, I was really impressed by this team and their burst potential. They bring a barrage of plays and have strength in numbers, combining card searching with last-minute specials. This will definitely be a fun team to watch. What do you think of Miskatonic Wizards? Let me know in the comments. That's it for this team. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. Let's shut it down.